I've rated thousands of faces. In this video, I'll teach you my process that you can use to evaluate your own face. And I'll also give you some key insights on how to improve your facial attractiveness. Let's get to it. You can't objectively rate your own face and improve it if you don't know what you look like to other people. When people sent me their faces to rate, they would often take it at a focal length that completely distorts their face, or lighting that completely changes their facial features. If you want an accurate picture of yourself, you need to use the back camera of your phone and have it about a full arm's length away from you to avoid distortion.
Your face is not your face.
Oftentimes, I'd have people send me in pictures that are holding way too much body fat in their face. This completely covers up your facial structure. At that point, it's like, what am I actually rating? People's faces look completely different when leaned out, so it's like asking me to rate your abs with a sweater on.
Rubric.
There's a ton of different content creators in this space that also offer facial ratings as a service. My way of doing it is different. When a new member signs up to FRESHPILLED and requests a facial assessment, I don't break out my ruler and start measuring their canthal tilt or their mid-face ratio. What I do is focus heavily on what I believe is the most important aspect of any face.
Facial harmony.
Facial harmony is basically how all your facial features work together rather than individually. There's this pretty cool TikTok trend called good facial features, bad facial harmony. In these videos, people zoom in close on individual facial features that are usually considered ideal. But once they zoom out, because the facial harmony is off, the face looks completely different than you'd expect it to. The opposite also exists, where people zoom in on facial features considered bad, but zoom out and it all actually synergizes and shows a pretty good looking face. So overall, facial harmony is weighted heavily in every single evaluation.
Boosting your facial aesthetics.
In the very beginning, we used to rate faces, give them a number, and send it back. But this doesn't how we do facial assessments. Firstly, we no longer give out numbered ratings. Secondly, we live by the ethos that every guy can move up at least 2 points with some improvement. And thirdly, we take the selfie that we're sent and our digital artists use a bunch of tools to alter the selfie with the improvements that we suggest. This gives a clear vision of how the person can improve their facial aesthetics, and we find it to be way more productive. So instead of ratings, we now do digital makeovers. From this, we've learned a lot. Here are some of the most common improvements you can make to boost your facial attractiveness.
Getting lean.
A lot of people misconstrue being skinny with being lean. There's a big difference. People that are lean have a higher ratio of muscle to fat in their body. That's what gives them a sharp jawline, abs, and visible muscle separation. People can be underweight but have a higher ratio of fat to muscle in their body. That's why a lot of skinny people still look soft, and some can even have double chins while still being very underweight. Getting lean is a deliberate process that takes a bit of time and effort to achieve. It involves revamping your macronutrients in your diet, counting calories, and weightlifting. All this is done to signal to your body, keep the muscle, lose the fat. The problem though with getting lean is that most people do not know how to do it properly. They tend to crash diet and lose way too much muscle, ruin their metabolism, and crash their hormones. In the FRESHPILLED classroom, we have an 8-week Leanmaxxing Protocol that helps guide you through every aspect. Getting lean is by far the biggest game changer when it comes to improving your own facial attractiveness. The vast majority of people nowadays have a very pale, sickly color to them, and it's not just because of the lack of sun, but we'll talk about that later. A little bit of color in the face is extremely underrated. It can often make people look completely different, but you don't want to tan, as a tan is quite literally the result of DNA damage to your skin. There are a few ways to get that fresh summer glow without damaging your skin. Tanning drops. This is basically just self-tanner for your face. These are little drops you mix in with a moisturizer. There are different darkness levels, and I recommend most people start off with a really light tanning drop, as you can always add more layers later. Tinted moisturizers. Similar to tanning drops, these are basically regular skincare products that you'd use anyway, like moisturizers and sunscreens, but they add a slight tint to your skin, giving you a nice glow. Supplements. My preferred method is supplements. Obviously, check with your doctor if you start using any kind of supplements. I take astaxanthin and lycopene, and these two, after a few weeks, will quite literally change your undertones and give you a really nice inner glow to your skin, and I think this makes an absolute huge difference in people's faces. Contrast. Attractive faces often have a level of contrast to them. You can enhance the contrast in your face with a few easy methods. Grooming. Don't go overboard, but if you clean up your eyebrows so that they still have their natural shape, but there's a clear separation between eyebrow and skin, it adds a really nice contrast in the eye area. Same with facial hair. If you're rocking a disconnected goatee, shaving the sparse hairs on your cheeks makes all the difference. Hair darkening. Most guys would benefit a lot from slightly darker eyebrows and facial hair. You don't need to get crazy with this to the point it looks fake and ridiculous like those painted on beards, but just getting a product like a beard pencil that only slightly darkens these areas and fills in the gaps makes a huge difference, and it's pretty inconspicuous. Tinted lip balm. When you use lip balm, just get a tinted version of it. Vaseline has a tinted version and it just adds a bit of redness and rosiness and life to your lips. You'll have moisturized lips and they'll be a bit more healthy looking and vibrant while also giving you more facial contrast. LOOKSMAXX. There are guys out there that look similar to you but are doing things that make them look way more facially attractive. Whenever we get a digital makeover request, one of the first things we do is put the person's picture in the center. Then we'll go through Pinterest and try to find as many guys on there that have a similar facial structure or vibe to you but are clearly in the top tier version of that look. We then pull all these pictures around the central picture and try to extract anything we can that would help boost your facial attractiveness. Could be a certain hairstyle, facial hair, or even accessories like a certain type of eyeglass. Basically anything we think that might be beneficial to recommend to you. This is a really good exercise that you could do yourself, and you'd be surprised on what new things you figure out doing this. And finally, cardio. People are just allergic to cardio, and it's not just regular people, gym rats too. Adding more cardio to your daily routine, whether it's getting 10,000 steps or just doing 30 minutes on an incline treadmill a couple of days every week, will make a huge difference in the way you look. It'll help boost your circulation, you'll have better skin, you'll have more color in your face. Your facial hair and your head hair both require a lot of nutrients carried by your blood to look better. So get that cardio in, get that blood circulation going, and you're gonna notice a big difference in your face. Applying these concepts will 100% increase your facial attractiveness. If you want us to do this for you, check out freshpilled.com and request your digital makeover. Thanks for watching.